All right, let's dive into something fascinating today. The weird, wonderful, and sometimes confusing world inside our own heads. We're going to uncover the surprising link between some habits you might think are just, well, odd, and what they could actually say about your intelligence.
So let's be honest for a second. Have you ever been caught talking to yourself? Maybe you're looking for your keys and you're just muttering away. It's that moment you freeze, hoping nobody heard you, feeling just a little bit strange.
But here's the big question we're tackling today. What if those little quirks aren't flaws? What if they're actually signs of a really powerful, superactive mind just doing its thing?
To figure this out, let's follow our little stick figure friend here as they go about their day. We're going to start with those habits that show us what's really going on under the hood, right as their day is getting started.
Okay, first up, talking to yourself. Picture this, our stick figure is trying to get out the door, mumbling. Okay, wallet, phone, wait, where are the keys? It's a scene we've all been in, and it's easy to just write it off as being a bit scatterbrained, but it's so much more than that.
Believe it or not, there's a pretty fancy term for this: externalized metacognition. It basically reframes the whole thing. It's not you being crazy, it's your brain creating a verbal map to organize itself, to help you focus, and to solve problems way more efficiently.
And hey, if you do this, you are in some seriously good company. Even a certified genius like Albert Einstein was known for mumbling to himself. So yeah, that little habit of narrating your to-do list, that's just your brain running a high-powered program.
So, our character's day moves on, and now they are stuck in one of those meetings that could have been an email, you know the one. But they're not spacing out, they're doodling in their notebook. For years, people saw this as the ultimate sign of not paying attention. But it turns out, research shows it's the exact opposite. Doodling or fidgeting is like giving your brain a little side quest. It keeps your mind just engaged enough so it doesn't wander off completely. It's a genius way to channel that extra mental energy. And plenty of brilliant people did it. Einstein would twist paper clips, Steve Jobs was famous for pacing. So the takeaway here, it's not distraction, it's actually focus maintenance.
Okay, so we see how these habits help with focus, but what happens when that superactive brain has to deal with the messy world of other people? Let's follow our friend from the office to a party. A place where a fast brain can feel like it's running on a totally different operating system than everyone else.
And this right here can lead to what we call social awkwardness. Our stick figure is at the party, they look a little uncomfortable, maybe overthinking what to say or just where to stand. It is a feeling so many of us know way too well.
But see, this isn't really a social failure. It's more like a symptom of mental overdrive. A highly intelligent mind isn't just listening to the conversation. It's analyzing expressions, simulating a dozen different outcomes, and calculating all the possibilities. And by the time it's done all that, the moment's gone. You're not awkward. Your brain is just 10 steps ahead of the conversation.
So our friend decides to break the ice with a joke, and crickets. It just lands with a thud, and now everyone looks uncomfortable. This can happen a lot with dark humor, which interestingly enough is another trait often linked to high intelligence.
And here's why. Getting a dark joke requires some serious mental gymnastics. Your brain has to process the literal meaning, then see the taboo or difficult angle, and then instantly flip it into something absurd. It's got less to do with being heartless and way more to do with cognitive flexibility. It's like you're solving a complex puzzle that most other people don't even see.
Okay, the party's over. Our character heads home. Now we get to see how these same brain wiring traits show up later in the day, especially with habits that we usually label as flaws. But for a smart brain, these can be part of a very powerful nighttime operating system.
Let's talk procrastination. We all know the feeling, right? You feel like you're just wasting time. But the function might actually be what's called creative delay. It's giving your subconscious time to chew on a problem. That stress and guilt you feel, that's your brain building up the perfect amount of pressure it needs for that laser-like, urgency-driven focus later on. It's not avoidance, it's just really good timing.
And now it's late. The house is totally silent, but inside our character's head, it is loud. They're stuck worrying about a simple email they sent hours ago. It just said, "Sounds good, thanks." But did that period at the end seem angry? Welcome to the endless loop of overthinking. It can be absolutely exhausting, I know, but it's also your brain running simulations, exploring every single angle, and spotting patterns that other people completely miss. And get this, studies show that a whopping 90% of what you worry about never even happens, which, when you think about it, kind of means worrying must be working, right? And this kind of overthinking often goes hand in hand with being a night owl.
Those quiet, uninterrupted hours after midnight are like a playground for a creative mind. I mean, history is packed with brilliant night owls. Churchill leading a country through a war, Kafka writing his masterpieces, Tesla dreaming up world-changing ideas. Their brains just didn't clock out when the sun went down.
So what is the big takeaway here? After following our stick figure through their whole day, it's time we totally reframe these quirks. Let's put it all together and figure out how to embrace your own inner genius. Because it's not about being weird, it's about how you're wired.
You'll notice that highly intelligent people often really crave alone time. But it's not about being antisocial, it's all about managing bandwidth. If your brain is taking in more information all day long, it just means a quiet space to process everything. Solitude becomes your workshop, where you can sort through the noise, connect the dots, and let your best ideas come to the surface.
So if there's one thing you leave with today, it's this. Your brain is weird, and that is not something you need to fix. That weirdness is exactly what makes it so powerful. The mumbling, the doodling, the social awkwardness, the late nights, they are not bugs in your system. They are features of a high-performance engine.
And that brings me to my final question for you. Thinking about all this, which of these weird habits do you see in yourself? And more importantly, which one are you going to start owning? Starting today, not as a flaw, but as a sign of your own brilliant mind at work.